Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Interconnect 2015 Big Data and Analytics Keynote. Please welcome celebrity chef and restaurateur, New York Times bestselling author, and founder and CEO of Fabio Viviani Hospitality Group, Fabio Viviani.
That's a nice crowd. How's everybody? Welcome. You guys are good? It's pretty quiet to be Vegas. You guys got beers. I'm expecting a little bit more excitement. Come on, you guys are good? All right. Well, welcome, and I'm very glad that you could all make it this evening. Just a few introductions about me for who doesn't know that I was part of a few television series, Top Chef on Bravo, and few other shows, which, by the way, I lost twice. And just few data about me. Come to United States in 2006 without a word of English. I didn't speak a word of English. And I had a goal. I had the goal to open a restaurant in this country and to do a lot of stuff in the hospitality business. After about 9 years, at day to day, we have a dozen of restaurants. I've published 7 cookbooks. We have few television shows, and we also just recently launched, about a year and a half ago, an online magazine. My presence on social media is very good, I would say that. And what we have done, we have created a base information, a magazine where people can collect information about wine, business, food, and anything else that has to do with the hospitality industry. The biggest challenge I faced was that a lot of people liked it, which is a good problem to have, but I didn't know how to read all the feedback, all the information and data that those people were sending me back. So I'm very excited to be here tonight. You're gonna learn a lot about analytics, you're gonna learn a lot about data, and you're gonna have a ball. We're gonna have fun tonight, but I'm not going to do this alone. And since we're here at Interconnect, I'd like to welcome General Manager of IBM Analytic Platform, Beth Smith. Good to see you, Beth.
You too. Thank you. You know, your stories get more interesting, and I think the food and wine and some fun that we're going to be able to have today is going to hopefully make this interesting. There is no doubt the world has changed. New data is being generated everywhere we turn. New analytics and new development approaches have opened up an unprecedented opportunity to put that data to work right at the time that it is needed to ensure to drive positive outcomes. We've learned that data is the world's new natural resource, and when put together with cloud, the engine for faster innovation, it provides the potential for value creation that goes far beyond what many of us would have considered possible a few years ago. Why do I say this? First, the upsurge of cloud is fueling the pace of innovation. Many clients, like many of you, are working with data and analytics, are looking to cloud to engage those new communities of developers and business professionals. Cloud is becoming the key ingredient to speed deployment and adoption. Second, the pursuit of competitive advantage is fueled by data and analytics. And we see this happening in every industry, from banking to healthcare, in organizations large and small. The reason? Clients who put analytics at the center of their business drive transformational outcomes. Analytics are no longer about seeing how your business is doing. Analytics are now driving how your business will perform. Today, I want to share with you some of our most strategic investments that bring that world of data and cloud together. These innovations are focused on removing the barriers that stand between you and the value that you're seeking. Developers can now innovate faster and deploy insight from data into mobile apps, creating more compelling and smarter systems of engagement, all with the sourcing of data, the managing of data, and the embedding of analytics made easy. Business users can now have analytics that inform them what is happening right now in the moment, and analytics that predict the best actions they can take. Advanced analytics made simple at their fingertips. And organizations can now access and apply all of the most relevant information from inside and outside the firewall, complex data, fast data, data that when harnessed by advanced analytics really helps optimize every part of the business. So how did we remove these barriers in order to enable developers, business users, and organizations to realize time to insight with speed? Let me take one example. Now, at IBM, we have so many innovations, I could pick a lot, but I've chosen one around Hadoop. A growing number of organizations, like many of you, I'm sure, are recognizing that Apache Hadoop is a powerful technology for collecting and economically storing all sorts of data. However, many struggle to really realize the full potential of that data. The business analyst needs to be able to quickly find the relevant information, and the data scientist needs to be able to find the patterns in the data, and then that whole environment needs to be easy for IT to manage and to deploy so that everyone really has what they need. Just last week, I was proud to announce 2 significant milestones that I think will help you realize that potential of big data. First, we announced our role as a founding member of the Open Data Platform Initiative. Now, this is a consortium committed to Apache Software Foundation and committed to driving a set of standards around Apache Hadoop. This initiative welcomes any and all organizations that really care about ensuring clients can leverage open source with the benefits of standards for interoperability and consistency and to avoid lock-in. The result will be a ubiquitous industry approach for Hadoop. We announced our distribution, IBM Open Platform for Apache Hadoop, available free for production use, with a commitment to deliver open source currency to you, our clients. Second announcement was our next version of Big Insights for Apache Hadoop. Now, this release centers on data science at massive scale. It includes the introduction of machine learning with R, and these in Hadoop analytics also include things like text analytics, interactive web tools, as well as common tools such as SQL, all with the analytics where the data is. Enhancements in elastic storage and cluster management mean that you can now focus on the insights you need versus focusing on that infrastructure and how to manage it. We know that none of you or none of your IT departments wants yet another data silo. So this release fits cohesively into your broader architectures. The platform is built so that you can apply the full range of analytics to all types of data. And to talk about what this really can mean to a business, I'd like to ask one of our clients to come share his journey. Please join me in welcoming CEO of Minuet to the stage, Jeff Charette.
Jeff, how are you, buddy?
Fantastic. Good to meet you.
So, Jeff, let me ask you a question. You're not only the founder and CEO of Minuet, correct? Did I nail the name?
You got it. Perfect.
Perfect. But you also have experience in managing critical web projects for industry giants such as Fidelity Investments, Hilton, and Charles Schwab, right?
Correct.
So why you don't tell us and walk us through how you do these and a little bit about what Minuet is?
Sure.
Thank you.
First off, wow, it's really exciting to hear what IBM has coming down the pipeline. In the next few minutes, I'm going to change your perception of how restaurants should operate. Now, we all love restaurants, right? especially independent ones.
Yeah.
I'm here to tell you about how we're connecting your local restaurant to the Internet of Things, helping them thrive while delivering a better customer experience. But to understand what Menuat's all about, you first have to understand the independent restaurant environment. Behind a counter, you typically have a very busy restaurant owner. This person's strength lies in food and hospitality. Meanwhile, their customers are becoming increasingly tech-savvy and require our busy owner to integrate faster than they have time or resources to decide. What all this means is that restaurants are begging for a unifying platform to manage their business better.
Like literally, we're begging. For real, we are. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. Just think about your trip here. You probably booked everything online, from your flight to your hotel. The point is, the internet has evolved the travel industry and many, many more. And we're going to evolve the restaurant industry, starting with the menu. Menuat is the all-digital, all-device menu for restaurants and bars. Let me show you what we've been up to.
Restaurant owners are constantly managing change. Changes in staff, ingredients, season, the cost of supplies, all of this influences the menu. Restaurants miss opportunities to thrive because of outdated, inflexible menus. That's where Menuat comes in. Menuat is the all-digital, all-device menu for restaurants and bars. Using digital menus means restaurant owners can respond to change in real time. Updating your menu is easy. Simply log in, click on the item you want to adjust, make the change, and click Save. Your changes show up immediately in-store and online too. Menuat's mobile menus are also searchable, helping your customers find and share their favorite foods more easily. And when new customers find something they like, they're more likely to come again. Menuat gives restaurant owners the flexibility and control they need to manage their restaurants better. Schedule a demo at menuat.com.
Is that my restaurant?
It might be.
Might be.
It's going to be. We leveraged Cloudant, which has recently been acquired by IBM, to create this digital menu board platform and establish a network of connected devices. This digital menu brings restaurants into the Internet of Things, offering them an instantly updatable alternative to traditional wall-mounted menus. And their changes are instantly reflected in-store, online, and on users' mobile devices as well. Using Cloudant has made all of this very, very easy. With their use of Apache CouchDB's JSON data store, we've been able to write a truly schemaless CMS that is both fault-tolerant and always available. And through partnerships with Samsung Signage Platform and local food distributors like Cisco Jacksonville, we look forward to leveraging Cloudant's database as a service and taking our digital menu board platform national. Menuat is built from the top to the bottom to be scalable and easy to develop. And we love JavaScript at Menuat, and our code base shows it with 99% JavaScript without templates. This allows all our developers to pitch in at all levels. For example, we're able to take and test code on the front end, take that same code to the back end for performance improvements. We leverage Node.js for things like sending emails and transforming images. And right now, we're working on adding geospatial search and Cloudant Sync for our mobile app. We like to say it's the perfect bite of technology. Okay, enough small talk. Let's check it out. Much like a Chromecast or Amazon Fire Stick, Menuat runs on a small device that's easy to install and powerful. And we continue to support our commercial screens like Samsung Signage Platform. Let's look at the menu we did this week for IBM Interconnect. Here's a menu you'll find at menuat.com/IBM. You can pull it up on your phones right now. Now, we wanted to help users find their favorite foods faster, so we made this menu completely searchable. You can search for a specific ingredient or maybe a keyword like vegan. The results pop up right here. And you can imagine how helpful this would be on a large, complex menu.
Especially for multiple locations, like I do have.
We use Cloudant Search to build this feature. And this is great for our platform because it's easy and fast to deploy. Now here's the same drink menu for tonight. We have live social updates and an easy-to-read menu. But most of the functionality exists on the back end, where the restaurant owner is able to stay on top of supply and demand and experiment with their menu in real time. Fabio.
Yes?
You know, I was looking at the menu and I noticed your Cabernet's on there. Would you like to do the honors and go ahead and add it?
I would love to. Shall we do it?
Sure.
Which
We're all the way at the end here.
all the way at the end. And we have choices, so I was asking which computer are we using. All right, let me see. I've done this before. This is very easy, and it makes my life much easier. So full body, succulent fruit flavor, complexity, and ripe tannins. Save. Boom. Did I do it?
You did it.
Where is it? Trust me, if I've done it, it's really easy. Might be good with food, not so much with this.
Sure.
It is true. True story.
As you can see, the menu board has been updated. And this change can be seen in-store, online, and on your mobile device as well. And by the way, you can post to this menu too, through Twitter. And actually, the first 3 to go to twitter.com right now and post to #MenuAtGo will see their tweet live on the screen.
Right now here?
That's right.
You guys told me to shut my phone off. I would have done it. You guys should try it.
This is a game changer for the restaurant industry. So in the interest of getting this powerful technology into as many restaurants as possible, today we're introducing Menu@Go. It's going to be a new turnkey digital menu service which is positioned to be the de facto standard for restaurant technology. Menu@Go starts at just $10 a month with our player and one-time setup fee at only $495. This gives restaurants everything they need to get started with digital menus. Menu@Go will allow our restaurant owners to design their menus on the fly, then deploy to our device or even their website. Menu@Go features the best of our design library, social connected boards, and our seamless content management system, all of course backed by Cloudant's fault-tolerant service. Once our customers are up and running, we'll offer them great value-added services, like point of sale, customer loyalty, and mobile checkout. Menu@Go will become the foundation of the connected restaurant. We're really excited about this because it's going to give lots and lots of independent restaurants the control they need to help their business thrive. And I think we'd all agree that independent restaurants hold a special place in our community. Help us get the word out, and let's bring them into the 21st century. And by all means, stop by the Cloudant booth at booth 104 afterwards to see a live demo. And be on the lookout for Menu@in a restaurant near you.
Jeff, thank you. So, I mean, this is really, really cool. If you think about it, right? Now, think about how much I can apply this technology to my restaurants. We have a big team, marketing, PR, IT, right, and we gotta send countless email and phone calls to be able to update a simple item on the menu. And guess what? It never gets done in time. So now, Beth, would you like to explain how the technology works from behind?
Sure.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jeff. Great story. So I really want to talk a little bit about our technology here and the power of Cloudant and how it's enabling customers just like Menu@, to create those new systems of engagement that really deliver their business digitally as a service to people through their phones, their cars, and even wearables. Now, Cloudant is our NoSQL database. That means not only SQL, which was specifically introduced to handle the rise in data types, data access, and data availability needs that have been brought on by these systems of engagement applications. Cloudant is specially suited to handle the latest of web and mobile applications, and it is the only database as a service that supports hybrid cloud environments. So that means you can choose where you want to put your data based on your regulatory and privacy requirements. And with all of that data growing in a NoSQL database, I know you still want to be able to apply analytics to it. So that's why at the end of last year, we launched a new product called DashDB. DashDB is a cloud data warehouse service based on some of our greatest database innovations. Blue for super fast speed, and Netezza for in-memory analytics. But Fabio, what is really cool about this is that if you're using Cloudant, all it takes is a press of a button to load your data into DashDB for analytics. There's no need to define schemas. We do it all for you.
So can I try to understand
Sure.
it? So you're telling me that if Jeff Company sold a bunch of menu system to a national chain of restaurant, for example, he might be able to leverage all these DashDB things that you guys are having, collect all the information in the application, and really use it to actually make their business more efficient?
Absolutely. You got it.
Jeff, I would high five you if you were closer. I mean, if you think about that, data is really important. It's amazing what you can do with it.
That's right. That's right. And I personally do think data is at the center of everything. You know, we've seen Cloudant here as the cornerstone of our cloud data services. And additionally, we're leveraging years of database innovation to provide a complete set of cloud data services, from relational database to Hadoop to geospatial analytics that incorporate real-time stream computing. So now let's take a look at what one client is doing. And Fabio, I think this industry you will be quite familiar with.
I'm all ears.
Okay.
In Los Angeles, they won't drink exactly the same thing as in Boston, because it's warmer, so they would have a dry white wine, and in Boston they would prefer to have a red wine. Now we are using data to see the difference in different culture around the world and propose the right wine to the right person.
That's a beautiful painting, but I would have drank that wine.
So far we've talked about the data container and the data warehouse. Now let's take a little bit deeper look into how analytics really can help put all that data to work. With self-service analytics on the cloud, we're giving business users a new way to work. And to see it, let me welcome my colleague to the stage, Steve Archett.
Steve?
Thanks.
How you doing? Thank you. All right. So tonight, my colleague Ian and I are owners of a successful wine bar, and we've decided to start our own wine label.
I'm sorry.
And our consultant, Fabio, has recommended that we lease space from an existing vineyard in order to get our wine to market fastest. And I'm going to use Watson Analytics to help with that decision around which type of grape and wine we should start with. An accessible advanced analytics service on the cloud, Watson Analytics is my personal data scientist assistant, guiding me through the analysis of my data, uncovering key insights that I can combine with my experience and expertise in order to improve my decision making. Now, Fabio, you're a successful wine merchant. When you got started, how did you decide what type of wine to start producing?
Well, it wasn't easy, because the reality of it was, I'm a chef my trade is to be a chef, right? But I've been in wine business my whole life, growing up in Italy as a drinker, and then early drinking. And then as a restaurateur, as a wine merchant, now we have a wine collection. But we didn't want to be winemaker. We just want to buy wine and do what's best for the market requirement. So what we did what we could. I mean, we start to analyze some data out there, whatever was available, ask people, see the trend with supermarket, import cost, varietal of grapes. It's a headache. It really is. At the end, we made the fairly successful decision of going with certain varietal that have more market appeal rather than other, from California rather than Italy. Then we So there was a back and forth, but with the market, with the market inside, we made that educated decision.
Right. Well, I want to show how using Watson Analytics we can remove some of that guesswork, remove some of those headaches, and take advantage of the data and these advanced analytic capabilities. So here I am in the interface of Watson Analytics, and I want to go ahead and review a mobile dashboard. Now, this dashboard, is a sleek, modern interface, and this is keeping track of global trends of wine production, consumption, acreage, looking at the word cloud of some of the common descriptors of wine types. But what I want to focus on are shipping costs, and I want to compare the shipping costs between red and white grapes. So quickly clicking on red, I see the differences in red grape shipping costs, and then clicking on white, I see white grape shipping costs. And what jumps out at me is that white grapes have less or lower shipping costs. So let's put that in the pro column for why we might want to start with white wine. But now I want to take my analysis a step further. I have a data set that examines the quality of various wines by grape type and other characteristics like residual sugars, acids, sulfur dioxide. And I want to understand what are some of the key drivers of high quality wines. So I've already created a predictive workbook in Watson Analytics, but before I get started, I want to review the data quality report. And the data quality report is powered by IBM's DataWorks. This data quality report is assessing the readiness of this data for analysis, identifying and alerting me to potential issues in the data, such as outliers, missing values, or skewed distributions in some of the columns. I could take it a step further if I wanted to, and shape, refine, and cleanse this data set, join this with other data, standardize it to remove duplicates. But in this case, we have a pretty good data quality score, so I'm comfortable with the output and confident in the output of my analysis. So looking at what the top predictors of quality wines are, the first one is alcohol, which is pretty intuitive and makes sense that people like a little bit of alcohol in their wine. So I want to focus more on density as a key driver of quality. And what I can see is that wines that have a slightly lower density have a higher quality score. So this is a very key insight, and I want to explore this further. So I simply am going to drag density into the spiral, and this is going to give me a new set of insights to explore. One of the first ones is that alcohol and density are negatively correlated. So as the alcohol content increases, the density decreases. But I'm drawn to the one around density and fixed acidity, which are positively correlated. I can even add a little line here showing that as the density increases, the fixed acidity increases. I can even review some of the underlying statistical details. Now, Fabio, for those that aren't as knowledgeable about wine, could you explain why density and fixed acidity are so key for high-quality wines?
Of course, there is to do a hard explanation. It's my turn. All right. So let me make these. I'll try to make this very simple, right? Wine has a lot of characteristics. The density of the wine is measured by how dense the wine really is. There is a difference in density between water, glucose, and ethanol. Alcohol is lighter than water, glucose is higher. So the reality is that the density of the wine is the ratio of the balance between the base juice and the alcohol and the sugar. If there is too much alcohol, the wine is hot, not too great. But also, if there is too much sugar, it's like Kool-Aid, and maybe that's not very good if you're looking for a good wine. As far as acidity goes, normally acidity is something that is associated with pleasant feeling in the wine. A crisp, well-balanced taste, the palate of the wine, and is not too, doesn't have too much of a bite. How tart it is. There is different acid going into one production. Citric acid, malic acid. That's nothing that we want to, lose our mind over. But if there is an algorithm, if there is a program that analyzes all the variable, it takes the headache away from me to explain it to you.
All right, so now armed with those key insights, that helps guide my analysis further as I can further explore this data set. And so what I want to do, so now in the Explore tab in Watson Analytics, the cognitive capabilities of Watson Analytics has assessed this data set and provided me with some potential recommended starting points based on what's in the data. But I want to take advantage of the natural language interface, and I'm simply going to type in a question, around what's the relationship now between alcohol and fixed acidity. So it recognizes the question, it pulls up some of the what I may be trying to understand. I'm going to go ahead and click on this. Watson Analytics is automatically creating the best recommended visualization. Now this visualization doesn't really tell me a whole lot, so I'm going to go ahead and click on the cog, and I want to color this by grape. So now I'll get a breakdown between red and white grapes. But now I want to take it one step further, and I want to filter only on the highest quality wines. So I'm going to remove all of those that are not very good. And so now what I'm seeing here are that white grapes are probably the type of wine we should start out first. So now I'm going to go ahead and share this, and I'm going to email this over to my colleague Ian, and then he's going to take this over and show how we complete our dream of starting our own wine label. Thank you.
Exciting. Thanks, man. Can jump? Oh, there is stairs. I thought you would jump. I was like, that's very. Didn't see the stair.
All right. So now that I have the Watson Analytics results in a PDF that Steve just emailed to me, I need to share that with the rest of my team. And in fact, I have other files here on my laptop that I need to share with the team. If I lost my computer or the hard drive crashed, we'd be in real trouble as we're starting our new vineyard business. So to do this, I'm going to use IBM Navigator. Navigator is built with the world's leading ECM software, that's Enterprise Content Management, running on IBM Cloud and SoftLayer. We support industry standards like CMIS, so you don't have to use a proprietary API to work with your content. So, as you can see here in IBM Navigator, I've got documents, and I can hover over them and look at them and so forth. And I can also go, and I'm going to go into the Team Spaces feature here. And Team Spaces are a very significant differentiator between us and our competitors because they allow you to collaborate with other people securely around your content. So I'm going to click on Team Spaces, and you'll see that I've got a couple others that I created in the past. And I'm going to create a new team space now. And let's add a name, MBI Sellers. And we'll pick a template. And by picking that template, it basically specifies the different folders and so forth that will be a part of the team space, the documents that we have. So I see my folders. And then, since it's a team of people, I need to add some people to the system. So I'm going to add Beth. We'll pretend that she's a silent partner here in our vineyard business. So let's add Beth. And I can do it just by looking her up. There she is. And we'll give her member rights and add her to the team space. So now we're able to double check, make sure she's got the rights and so forth. And I'm going to hit finish. And we're going to create the area where we can collaborate on all of our content. So I can look here and I can see the folders that were created. And obviously there's nothing here yet. So if I go into the supporting documents folder, you'll see that it's empty. I can come over to the side and I'm going to just grab these documents here on my hard drive and drag and drop them into IBM Navigator. And hit add, and we'll move that out of the way. And now those documents are being added to the system. And there they are. So you'll see that I can like the documents, I can tag them, I can comment on them, I can share them with my colleagues and so forth. I have all those social attributes. And I can even do things like click on the document and I'll see a thumbnail appear over on the right side. And I can move the documents around, like that's our business plan, so let's put that in the projects plans folder. And let's now take that document that Steve had and let's open it up. So I launch it in our viewer, and we've got the kind of relationship here between alcohol and fixed acidity, and we can do things like zoom out and zoom in and rotate and so forth. And now let's come over to the side, and I'm going to just change a couple properties here. Let's change the name of this document. So I'll change that to say Watson Analytics Wine Quality, hit save, and now we've got those updates in the system. So we'll get out of the viewer here, and let's go ahead and now share that document with other people. And before I share it, I should point out that we also have not only the ability to view these documents in the browser, but we can also work with those documents in Microsoft Office. We have a plugin for Office so you can use your productivity tool of choice. So let's go ahead and right-click, and I'm going to share that document, and I'm going to say I want to share that with Beth, because even though she's a member of the TeamSpace, she maybe won't see it showing up there automatically. So let's add her via email, and we'll give her some permissions like just view and download. We can choose whether she can share it or not. We can set if it expires. Let's make it expire actually in, I don't know, a week or so. That's good, next Saturday. And last but not least, we can put a message down here at the bottom. So take a look at this great report from Watson. I think we should do white wine and hit share and share that with Beth. So next, we're going to take a look at what it looks like on Beth's phone. She's backstage, but we'll borrow her phone here, and we'll go into IBM Navigator. And when I open it up, you'll see that I have my library with all the content that I have in my organization, my personal folder with my documents and so forth in it, the files that I've worked with recently, and then shared files. So behind the scenes, of course, Beth got an email that said I've shared a document with her. But if I tap on shared files, you'll see that she has a pending share from me. And I'll tap on that, and you'll see that she has the message. We can also look at the terms and agreement, and I'm just going to hit accept down at the bottom right, and we'll accept that file. And immediately, the file's available for me to view. And you know, maybe I have to get on an airplane or something like that, so I'm going to tap on the little icon there that's grayed out, and we'll say I want to synchronize that on my device. There we go. And you'll notice that I can also share it with other people from here. That's the little two people shaking hands. I can open it in another application. And if I swipe the other way, I can actually come in and look at things like the properties and so forth. So let's hit the little I. There's the document again. And I can do things here like comment on the document, again, share it with other people, see all the metadata, again, pull it down onto my device and so forth. So since we've chosen to synchronize it, you know, I could go get on an airplane now and work with that document. So let's look at the view on my device. So down at the bottom, I'll tap on device, and you'll see that that Watson Analytics wine quality is right there. We'll open it up, and there it is. We can see the relationship. We can zoom in and out and so forth. We can kind of pan around on the image. And I've got it there on my mobile device to make it easy to work with. So if other people were using this same system, they would have this document as well. It solves that kind of common problem of tracking and managing multiple versions of a document. So depending on your rights, you can share that with other people. You could also upload other documents and so forth and collaborate with your colleagues. And so from my mobile device, let's go back into the TeamSpace. And I'm going to look at the files. Remember, I added those files earlier in the web browser. Let's go into supporting documents. And there we have those same 4 documents, because remember, I moved one earlier. And let's go back out here, and I'm going to just add a new document. We're going to add a file. And we're going to add a file that we have, it's here in my photos from the marketing agency. So we've decided that we want to add white wine. So I have a white wine label here. Let's say white wine label. Okay. And I can hit add and add that to the system. So now that document's there for everyone to work with as well. So Fabio, what do you think about that?
See, I'm wearing my "this is really cool" face right now. Let me ask you a question, though. This is very useful for my business. You know, we have tons of file sharing, and everybody has different device, different platform. Mm-hmm. You know, Apple, PC, iPad, tablets, and it's a disaster. For us, it's a disaster. And I understand all this. This is all great within your platform, but how do I share this file, for example, with my marketing manager that is not in my work, you know, environment, but I still like to ask this person their opinion?
Yeah, absolutely. So what I can do is, just like you saw me share it in my browser, I can, pull the document up, make sure that it's the right document that I want to share, and so forth. And then I can simply swipe over, and you'll see me do that here, and hit the little share icon. And then I can type in the name of whoever it is, their email address, set the same rights at the bottom to view and download, and so forth.
And you said you can add an expiration date?
Yep.
And then...
Absolutely. And so once I do that, and I'm not going to do it here because I don't know his email address, but once I do that, the document gets shared. And because we're sharing this with IBM Navigator, we take security, very seriously. So we manage who has rights. You manage your encryption keys, so we don't have access to your content. We can run this on any soft layer data center anywhere in the world. We secure it with SSL and VPN if you want it. And maybe most importantly, all the other people that have access now to the wine label from our marketing agency, et cetera, they have it synced to their devices wherever they are anywhere in the world.
I mean, these whole things for me, it's really great. If you think about it, with the IBM Navigator, not only my team, Beth, how are you? Not only my team can share a document, but now because of all the people that you can involve in security and with the same platform, we can really do some creative thinking there.
Interesting, huh?
It's really, it gives you the opportunity to really have some massive, powerful collaboration.
Yep.
I love it.
Absolutely, Fabio. So there you go. That's ECM.
Thanks, man.
There we go.
High five.
High five.
Beth, would you mind because this is a lot of information, would you mind to recap what we just saw here?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
So first of all, Steve and Ian, thanks for doing that. I just want to spend a minute talking about what you just saw. IBM has reinvented that analytics experience, and it's in the cloud. It's allowing you to gain insight faster and easier than ever before. And if we think about Watson Analytics, what makes it truly unique? It puts sophisticated analytics in the hands of every person. It allows you to discover insights through a natural language dialogue. And your analytics experience is now unified in an intuitive problem-solving platform. With DataWorks embedded in the UI, users get access to clean, relevant data when and where they need it. It really relieves any IT logjams, accelerating data-driven decisions, and ultimately saving time and precious resources. And with Navigator, you just saw how you can collaborate on content securely on any device. And it's not just simple sync and share. This is powerful enterprise content management functionality made incredibly easy. And by the way, we support hybrid use cases with Navigator.
So this is pretty much from a restaurant to a home. We have seen how data and analytics really are changing really everything we do. But now, what I would like you guys to see, it's something that blew my mind for real. This is like, from a chef perspective, this is really amazing. There is an app that is changing the way we discover new dishes and new recipes. Now, to show us how, please help me welcome Steve Hebrans.
Hey, Fabio, good to see you.
Good to see you.
Yeah, so we've already gone through a little bit of how things like, you can update the menus at your restaurant and how you can even decide what wines to make. But I think the question that's on all of our minds, especially as dinner is coming, is where do you come up with the great ideas to have recipes? Where's the inspiration for a new dish come about? And Watson actually can help you be inspired to be creative and go beyond the boundaries of anything that you would have imagined before. So what I'm about to show you is a version of Chef Watson that's been designed for the home cook. You see, food and cooking is so essential in our everyday lives. It's not just about sustenance and nutrition. Food's a critical part of our social and cultural fabric. But whether you are a professional chef like Fabio, or an enthusiastic home cook, or a parent just trying to get dinner together between soccer practice and homework, it can be hard to find the creative inspiration to come up with something new and exciting. Chef Watson allows you to discover brand new ingredient and flavor pairings that have never before been imagined to inspire your own creativity as a chef. To do this, Watson read over 9,000 kitchen-tested recipes from Bon Appetit to learn about ingredients, common pairings, culinary styles, and what types of ingredients need to come together to make a given dish, like what is it that makes soup different from a burrito. And these are the key data points. It's also learned food chemistry, and it can apply something that we call hedonic psychophysics, which is the psychology of what people find pleasant and unpleasant. And that feeds its cognitive analytics. It uses all of this knowledge to come up with ingredient combinations that it thinks will both surprise and delight. Let me show you how it works. Fabio, why don't you pick an ingredient to help get us started?
This program is going to put me out of business?
No, absolutely not.
I'm just saying. Because, you know.
We'd like to help you, in fact.
All right. So, an ingredient, like a main course protein?
Yeah, protein would be great.
Fish. Do you want to do a fish?
That'd be great.
I had fish last night. Great fish. Halibut.
There's nothing like fresh fish in the desert in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
So let's go with...
I agree with that.
Let's go with halibut.
Yeah.
Okay, so as soon as we put that in, notice that Watson is putting its cognitive system to work, and it's making suggestions over here about other ingredients that it thinks will work together with halibut. And we can look over here at some of the more surprising combinations that it suggests. By dragging this ladder off to the right, we see things like creme fraiche and green olives and lemongrass.
So I got it. It is like a little fancier and a little safer.
Exactly. These would be more classic things like pepper and carrots and fennel and basil and things that you might expect with it.
What's fancier?
Let's see, over here on the surprising side. I don't know, you want to go with a creme,
look at that, clementine, creme fraiche. Wow,
creme fraiche? You want to put creme fraiche in there?
Sure.
Let's go with some creme fraiche and see what that says.
I like creme fraiche.
Notice that over here on the right, Watson is giving us the opportunity to jump in and explore some of the dishes that it's already thinking about over here in this inspiration station. And as we hover over ingredients over here on the left, it's also giving us helpful information about things related to creme fraiche, like in this case, an American thoroughbred horse named Creme Fraiche. But we also learn about dough and chocolate chips and other kinds of interesting facts about the dishes.
Yeah, I wouldn't go with chocolate chips right now, but...
Yeah, okay. No, probably not. So we can also include things that we would like it to not use.
Cilantro, for example. Not a fan of it. I'm sorry if somebody likes cilantro in the audience.
You'll
have to do without tonight.
No cilantro in this dish.
I don't like it.
And I have a friend who's allergic to shellfish, so we're going to say no shellfish, so it'll exclude all types of shellfish. And the next thing is we get to choose what type of dish we would like Watson to create for us, either a bisque or a crostini or a grilled dish. But given that we're getting close to that...
even the category you can choose, like...
A category, exactly. So given that we're getting close to the reception, let's do like a big appetizer category, because the receptions are going to have a lot of those finger food appetizers. So we'll see if Watson can come up with an appetizer for us. And over here on the right, we see... the styles of cooking that we can select, anything from a particular regional cuisine to a style of a cooking that might be appropriate to a given event. You know what? Anything jumping off at this list here that you want to try? You could see Moroccan or Jamaican.
I mean, you got halibut, you got creme fraiche. If I pick French, that would be too easy.
Yeah.
Shall we try... that's Moroccan. I love Moroccan food.
I like Moroccan food too. So let's go with Moroccan, halibut, appetizers that are made with no cilantro, no shellfish, and
boom.
Yeah, and with creme fraiche, that's right. So when you think about how you would compute what goes into a dish, there are really a huge number of possible ingredient combinations, millions, billions, possibly even quintillions. So what Watson does instantly is generate thousands of combinations that it thinks are going to work well with the given inputs, and then it scores them by a number of factors, and then it clusters them around the closest matching dish in the Bon Appetit database.
I wish I had that when I was on Top Chef, man.
There we go. So the ingredients that it selected, you can see a nice list of ingredients over here, are the ingredients that it has learned might pair well with halibut and with the creme fraiche, based not only on what it has read, but also based on what it knows about this underlying food chemistry, specifying how well those flavor compounds are going to blend in each of these ingredients. And actually, what's interesting is that in the original version of the system that we built for professional chefs at the Institute of Culinary Education, Watson stopped there. It only presented a list of ingredients. But given that we're partnering with Bon Appetit and we're working to help the home chef, each recipe includes not just the list of ingredients, but it suggests quantities for each. And it gives some suggested steps for how to prepare the dish, kind of a push in the right direction to get the home cook started. And it also gives us a link to the original Bon Appetit recipe that inspired it. So when we look at something over here, there's some crudités. That's one set of options. There's another set of dishes that it's come up with that are like corn fritters. Let's see if we can come up with grilled fish tacos. Look at this. We got some fish tacos over here. And as I move this slider over here on the right again, we can see a much more surprising combination of ingredients. There's our creme fraiche with orange juice and lemon juice and white onions and potatoes and scallions and horseradish. And on the more common side, we can see ingredient pairings that are, again, a little bit more classic things that you've seen together before, perhaps, you know, tomatoes, potatoes, garlic, and things like that.
So it really does change completely the recipe based on fanciness of safe side and style and...
Exactly, and it will adapt the ingredients and the instructions and the quantities accordingly.
That is crazy, man.
Now, this app is actually currently in beta right now. We have thousands of people that are taking it through its paces and helping us to refine it, and of course, creating dishes for themselves and their families that Watson has helped them to discover. And you too can join our beta by visiting ibmchefwatson.com and sign up to get access to the beta. We've also worked with our partners at the Institute of Culinary Education, who helped us down this journey in the first place, and we've produced a cookbook that includes 65 of Chef Watson's most interesting creations, and the book is entitled Cognitive Cooking with Chef Watson, and it's now available at online bookstores near you for order. And while this version, how's that, right? IBM selling cookbooks now. Anyway, so while this version of Chef Watson is designed...
I was the one that had to sell cookbooks, but that's okay.
No competition.
No, please. This looks like it's thinking faster than I do.
But we need, it's always a collaboration. In fact, every time Watson is helping any professional in any field try to discover into something new, it's always going to be a collaboration with that professional. So, while Chef Watson is a version that's been designed for the avid home cook, we are actually working with clients in the food and flavor industries. That would be things like retail grocery, restaurateurs and restaurant chains, and even appliance manufacturers to try and find ways of using this application of Watson to transform their businesses. Bobby, what do you think?
Honestly, I have to apologize to you because when you explained before this whole stage, Beth, hi, how are you? When you explained this to me before, I thought that it was more like an advanced database.
Oh no.
This is not a database. This is like a full-on thinking buddies for your culinary creation. So as a restaurateur, I could easily apply it to the creation of specials, seasonal, special diet menu, and kind of supply the need of lack of creativity that sometimes happen when that's all you do, the in and out. Sometimes you're tired, you don't want to think about it.
Exactly, you got it.
So that's fantastic, Steve. Fantastic.
Thanks a lot, Fabio.
Thanks, man.
Yep.
Thanks, Steve.
Thanks, Beth.
So as you saw, cognitive computing and natural language analytics combined with big data actually help create value in multiple ways. And not just for those of you that are at-home chefs or professional chefs, but for organizations looking for new ways to solve problems.
Well, this has been, this whole thing has been amazing, right? I went from having issue in compounding all my data from my restaurant, my social media, my information, my IT guys, and now we have not only a program that combine all the data for recipe. We have an application that can share all the information. We also have a system that collect the information, and this is like a very, very sophisticated yet simple to use kind of platform, would you say? I guess I didn't realize how important really data could be. Wow. Good work, IBM.
Well said. And it really is amazing the amount of innovation in big data and analytics over the last few years. In fact, all the services you've seen here today are being applied at the scale and complexity of any business or industry. For example, Siva Logistics is a distribution company. They use Navigator to optimize supply chain operations, accessing tens of millions of documents across the globe, at ports, on trucks, and even at sea, anywhere, anytime. Answer Hub traditionally used on-prem systems and a commercial cloud service to develop, test, and deliver their software solutions. But with Bluemix and Cloudant, Answer Hub can now bring up new communities in hours instead of having to spend weeks building customizations. OptiBus created a fast-growing new business aimed at reinventing the way public transportation services are delivered in Israel by tapping into the vast amount of complex data through an intelligent, algorithm-based optimization platform. They used Big Insights with real-time streaming. And Tencent, one of China's most popular web portals, uses analytics on cloud to transform their system of engagement, particularly during last summer's World Cup. To engage fans, they use social media insight to create and update the stories in real time across devices, frankly, totally delivering a novel game-watching experience. So let me summarize all we have discussed here today. We are empowering developers to build solutions rapidly across devices ready for massive scale. With our composable data and analytics services available on Bluemix, you can get started right now, today, tonight. And for those business people out there, we provide analytics to fuel a new way to work. From predictive analytics, visualization, social media analytics, and an ever-growing portfolio of industry-focused solutions. And cloud, when used in combination with data and analytics, is enabling every organization to innovate with speed. So very simply stated, IBM has the most comprehensive portfolio of data and analytics services in the cloud.
Beth, what do I sign on it for? Because I'm sold.
I have it backstage for you.
You have the paper there?
Yep.
I'm sold.
Good, good. So for all of you, sign up on IBM Cloud Marketplace or Bluemix. And by the way, come visit us at the booth. It's number 104. It is at Mandalay Bay. You know, the IBM team and I would love to meet you there, where we could begin to talk to you about how we can help you on your journey of putting data to work.
I mean, and not that you care, but if you're coming there now, I'm going to be there. So if you want to shake a hand and meet me, I'll love to see you. We're going to sign book, and I brought wine. So you're welcome, because we're going to drink something together too. Thank you so much for being here, everybody. Have a great night.
Thank you.
Thank you.